Hi everybody, it's Tatiana Hauser, and I'm going to be talking about my experience from watching Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, which, by the way, I thought was a great film. At first I was like, why am I watching this old film? And then I started to get into it, and I was like, wow, this is actually interesting. There's drama, there's a storyline. So when I watched Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, what stood out for me the most was how love can be so simple between two people, but it can be complex when you have society's opinions and other people's expectations involved. The couple in the film, they were clearly in love with each other, but their relationship caused tension because of their race and the period of time that they were living in. Although they had a black maid that was in the house and she was well respected, there was still tension, and she even didn't accept the black man into a relationship with Joey. What I learned from this film is that people can believe they're open-minded, but when they're actually faced with the real situation, their true feelings and bias come out. It made me realize that acceptance isn't just something you say; it's something you have to practice, especially when it challenges your comfort zone. So I reference back to the maid a lot because you would think that another black person in that time would be proud and happy to see another black man in a relationship with a white woman, and she's well off. And this whole idea was challenged completely because she didn't accept him. She didn't want him there. She tossed the tea glass in front of him. She treated him poorly, and she just disrespected him. She didn't want him there. She felt like she didn't want him to be above himself or get beside himself because he was black. And this treatment was from another black person. A personal situation that I can relate to when I've experienced tension in relationships or friendships is where other people have had like their opinions or expectations of what I should or should not be doing. And although it may not be like a direct racial thing because of the time that we're living in, I'm extremely grateful and fortunate for that. I do understand the pressure of, people having an opinion on you choosing yourself or choosing what you feel is right. And people just don't agree with it, or they may think that it's wrong, or they may think that it's taboo. So watching this film made me reflect on my own assumptions about love and family. I realized that sometimes we unconsciously carry beliefs from society or how we are raised, and we don't question them until we are faced with something that challenges them directly, like this Examine Life course. I never would have thought this deep about slavery or racism, and I'm honestly embarrassed to say that as a black woman, this course alone and this film have taught me so much and have helped me to reflect so much on my choices and how I analyze relationships, how I analyze racism, how I analyze microaggression, and things that are in modern day time that are still happening. So because of this film, I now try to be more aware of how I view other people's relationships and choices. I'm more open to understanding different perspectives instead of judging them quickly, which I'm not necessarily a judgmental person, but I do think that I have a strong opinion. And sometimes I could push on my bias and navigate through situations differently because I'm not necessarily fully as open-minded as I may think I am. Just like how that maid may have felt like, okay, yeah, racism is over, slavery is over, I can still be a maid, but she didn't want to accept the black man in a relationship with Joey. And he was a doctor. He had well enough credentials. So same situation. Overall, the movie helped me to see that growth comes from discomfort. And you gotta be uncomfortable because in the end, it was a love story and it all worked out. And the mom was happy for her. The dad wanted being happy for her. So sometimes you just gotta go through it to get through it.